welcome back to Tying Up Loose Ends. Last week we had a special on divorce with the ghost of Henry VIII and his 6 ex-wives. This week our esteemed guests are the famous best friends forever, Julius Caesar, Marcus Brutus, and Caius Cassius.
Why my name is always said last, I'll never know.
Now Caesar, you've been on our show before, and I'd like to think of you as sort of a regular. Is there anything you'd like to say to get our discussion started?
Discussion? You make this sound like an intervention.
It is an intervention. Backstabbers Anonymous, I'd call it.
Well, that wasn't very helpful.
If we could continue, sirs.
This is stupid. Other than Cassius, we've seemed to resolve our differences rather well.
We certainly have. I do wish you'd forgive my behavior, ma'am. Cassius and I are not used to show business.
Understandable. I would really appreciate it if we could get this going. Alright. Brutus, Cassius, do you have any opening statements to make?
I suppose I should explain the situation, even though it's far from spoilers. Our story has existed for ages, after all. It begins with Cassius here getting jealous over Caesar's admittedly excessive power.
Excessive?
Cassius began to attempt to sway me to his conspirational cause. He forged letters, lied to me, and did everything in his power to convince me that it was all done for the good of Rome. I feel I must remind you that assassinating Caesar turned out to be exactly the opposite of what the plebeians desired. Also, he continued to be a shrewd and greedy man as time passed on, despite the fact that our previously strong bonds were strengthened further by the courts of conspiracy and what we believe to be honor in its most noble form.
Can't believe I'm hearing this.
And not to mention... Something funny, Cassius?
Oh, please! Continue to prance around on your white unicorn, Mr. Tragic and Noble Hero.
Excuse me?
You know exactly what I speak of. You've only been playing the role for centuries.
Please elaborate.
You always act like such a martyr. Oh, I stabbed my best friend in the neck, but it was all done out of honor. Tee-hee.
Forgive me. I'd always been under the impression that I never would have sunk to murder had you not been guiding my hand.
Oh, please. My motives were closer to jealousy than to democracy, but at least I haven't been in denial for decades.
Are you calling me a liar?
Worse, I'm calling you a drama queen. I don't need misogyny to further my insults. I'm just playing to your weaknesses.
That is what you always do, isn't it? Play off of others' weaknesses.
Are we really having this discussion again?
Please, elaborate, Cassius.
I was incorrect in calling it a discussion. It's more like a witch hunt. Even in life, you and all of Caesar's lackeys treated me like a snake. Like I couldn't be trusted just because my eyes held more intelligence than bloodlust. Because I'm more given to silence than to music, I can't be trusted. Because I am not given to divert myself with drink, I'm like a predator waiting to pounce.
I didn't come here to be insulted. Please, ma'am, stop this nonsense at once.
Isn't this just typical of you, Broody? This is like that time in the tent all over again. Better not let the children see Mommy and Daddy fighting.
Are you trying to call me a coward again? For a man of such self-proclaimed wit, you are certainly repetitive. Might I also say that never once have I heard you admit to your own faults. What about you taking your own life due to a misunderstanding? That doesn't seem very wise to me. Or what about your manipulative behavior among the other conspirators? How about that?
I don't need to admit my faults. I've had them rubbed in my face for centuries. Pleading guilty at this point is implied. Are you really just that petty that you have to hear me say it to your own ghostly ears?
Can't say it wouldn't hurt.
I can't believe I'm hearing this. Need I also remind you that you hardly showed any grief, any remorse, even a twitching eyelid at your own wife's suicide?
I will not be insulted or accused of such atrocities in front of all these good people, living or dead. Does this conversation need to come to blows, Cassius?
I don't know. Does it, Broody?
Fight, 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 fight!